Well. I got the raised bed garden done, and I planted 2 rows over here, lengthwise. It's a 12 by 14 that I made today. And I planted 2 rows of carrots, 1 row of radishes, and 2 rows of spinach, all companion plants to each other. And on the porch here, what I have is in buckets is I grow my lettuce and stuff in buckets. So that's what that is, and then there's strawberries. Now this other patch over here, I decided instead of making one big raised bed, I'm going to make this small one right here. It's 12 by 14 for all my low nitrogen plants. And that's why you got carrots and radishes and spinach in there. And the soil is pretty much the same. I haven't tested the soil yet, but I'm going to do an analysis of the compost that I got. But I know the carrots and spinach and everything grew great in it last year, so there's not a concern there. But I am going to do a level check for you, and then I'll let you know the results. Because I'll need to know that when I go to add nitrogen to the corn and potatoes and everything else. So what I decided to do, since I already have a portable 10 by 20 greenhouse, I'm going to put it this way across the yard in this spot right here instead of a cabin. So here's that 20 by 10 greenhouse, portable greenhouse I had for the last couple of years. And I didn't use it last year, but it was real good at growing tomatoes indoors and keeping the deer out and the other animals. So instead of putting up a fence or something, I'm just going to go ahead and move that over there to that one spot where the old chicken coop was. And I'm going to use containers and pots and stuff instead of putting soil on the floor like I did last time. That way I won't need to use bricks, and I'll actually take a couple of footer anchors for like decks and stuff that weigh about 80 pounds and tie it down to those so that it won't blow away. Plus it'll be more sheltered against this area over here. It'll be more sheltered because there'll be the chicken coop to block it, the wind, and there'll be that shed to block the wind, and it usually comes from the south anyway, from the Columbia Basin. So, and then also it's behind the house, so if you get wind from the north, well, it usually gets blocked a lot in this area right here. That's why I put the raised bed here. That's why I concentrate things here. But so it'll go right there in that spot. As soon as I dig out all the layers of chicken dung and get that piled up, I'll level this area out. Probably throw down a 10 by 25 plastic sheet on the bottom, keep the grass from growing up, and then I'll just put it in a container like these I have here. Or I'll put them in these containers I have here. Or just a 5-gallon Home Tebow bucket or something like that. Plus in the greenhouse with the portable containers and buckets and stuff like that, I won't have to affect a certain area of soil. I can just go ahead and just tailor the pH, the nitrogen levels and everything else in the buckets or the grow bags, so it won't affect the other plants. And I thought about it, and I thought, oh, this is probably a better way to go than just building one great big raised bed all the way over there and then putting a fence around it. And you know, it'll be more viable for me and mobile, because if tomato plants are still doing good when frost comes, I can take them indoors and grow them in the indoor greenhouse and still have fresh tomatoes for quite a long time. Now, of course, the aromas are determinate, so they'll they grow once you harvest it. But the beefsteaks and the cherry tomatoes, they keep growing and growing and growing as long as the weather's good enough for them to grow. They're indeterminate. So just so you know that if you're going to grow one with tomatoes, they're mostly grown for pasta sauce. For about a year, I've let this cure. I've only had the rooster here over this little 10 by 10 patch here. That's what you're looking at right now. And if you look at this down here, you can see that pretty much there's about 2 inches of layers of chicken crap in there that's been cured. So I'm going to scrape this out first, dig it out, put it in a nice big pile, because that'll be my nice source of nitrogen to add to what's left of my still a very large pile from the dump truck of green compost. So that's kind of the plans for this whole deal, as you can see. And as soon as I get the greenhouse done and the planting done, then we start on the cabin over here. And some people ask, where's your solar panels? There they are. I mount them externally off of the roof. But in the case of the cabin, it will be designed for acceptance of solar panels at the very top of the roof to catch the sun. So this is what the plans are for this year: harvesting, growing, and building, and enjoying the chickens that you all like to look at. There's my Spangled Orf right there. That's her. She's a Spangled Orf. That's an Australope. Those are golden comets. One gal over here that's got all the gold and black feathers. She's a golden laced white dot, and so is Mr. Rooster right here. He's a golden laced white dot. And I have two buff orphs that I bought, chicks, and they're already about 8 days old. They've been flying out of the brooders, so they're a little more advanced than chicks. And I got the three Australorps, which are like the black ones right there, and you can see the size of that. That's probably one of those is my biggest hen. Where's she at? I think that's her. Yeah. She's pretty big compared to the other two. All right, thanks for watching.